David and Goliath. Once upon a time, there was a boy named David. He was born into a big family with 10 siblings. His daily work was tending the sheep. He had great faith in God, and often sang about God's goodness while shepherding. One day, his parents called him home from the pasture, and told him to go to the military camp, to deliver food to his brothers. At this time, on the battlefield in the distance from the camp, there was a gigantic giant, named Goliath. He was a hero of the Philistines, as tall as a house. About 3 meters, wore thick bronze armor, and carried a massive iron spear, that was heavier than 10 children combined. Every day, he stood on a hillside, shouting at the Israelites.
"Hey, you little runts, send someone to fight me. If you can't beat me, you're doomed."
Goliath terrified the Israelite soldiers, making them tremble with fear. At this time, Saul, the king of Israel, was deeply troubled in his heart. After David delivering the food at the army camp, he followed a group of soldiers to the edge of the battlefield. From a distance, he saw the massive figure of Goliath. At that moment, the soldiers around him began whispering to each other.
"I heard King Saul has decided to reward the warrior who defeats Goliath with his daughter's hand in marriage."
At this moment, David's elder brother, who was nearby, said to him,
"This has nothing to do with you. Just focus on tending the sheep."
David scoffed at it, and asked his brother,
"Big brother, is it true what they're saying? If someone defeats Goliath, they can marry the princess?"
"You can't win. Just hurry, go home."
David silently made up his mind to defeat Goliath. He went to King Saul and explained his intention to fight Goliath. But King Saul said to him,
"David, you're so little. Goliath will eat you for breakfast."
"I'm not afraid. When I was shepherding, I fought off lions and bears. God saved me, and I believe he will help me defeat the giant."
Saul put armor on David, but he couldn't even lift the shield, so he gave up the shield, ran to the river, and picked up 5 smooth stones before heading to the battlefield. David stepped forward with the rock. Goliath saw this tiny kid. He laughed so hard, his belly shook.
"What? They sent a little bean to fight me?"
"Hey, big guy, you're bullying God's army. Do you believe my God will defeat you?"
As Goliath laughed, David swung his slingshot and with a whoosh, the small stone flew straight out, striking Goliath's forehead. The giant staggered twice and fell to the ground with a thunderous thud, like a great tree. Goliath was tall and scary, but David believed God was bigger than anything. He beat the giant with one little stone because God looks at our hearts, not our size. Kids, no matter how big the trouble, just believe in God and be brave like David. You can win. In reality, whether we can defeat an enemy, as formidable as Goliath, does not depend on our own strength, but on faith and strategy. At the time, David couldn't even lift a shield, but he relied on his experience in protecting his flock, and his faith to pick up small stones to attack the giant. He hit the only weak spot on Goliath's body. To hit such a small target on a massive giant with precision, David had gone through extensive practice, and with God's ultimate help, he was able to defeat the giant. Okay, if you like the story, don't wait. Hit the like button and share this video with your friends. Subscribe the channel for me to create more story video and music for you. See you in the next video.